Welcome to another installment of Deconstructing Babylon, where we discern the signs and symbols of the mystery religion of Hollywood Babylon. I'm the Discerning Clerk, and I use a biblical framework to deconstruct my favorite movies and your recommendations. Thank you all for being here, for your patience and understanding, and for hanging out with me for the next 15 minutes or so. A good reminder for all of us is why I create the content that I do. As I said before, I was raised in a Christian home, but it was really movies that informed my beliefs growing up. I didn't read the Bible all the way through for myself until very recently, but I could play and win any movie trivia game. I knew the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon and could remember every actor in every role, which made me an excellent clerk, but not a very good follower of Messiah. All the symbolism I point out and meaning I assign to it are just my opinions, and I will always welcome constructive conversations about movies. But when it comes to the Bible, I take it very seriously, and I will always encourage you to know the Bible for yourself and not take my word for it. Today's selection actually came from a conversation in the comments with one of you. So many have a more gracious opinion of Hollywood, rightfully believing that the Most High can use a movie to accomplish his good purposes. I believe that too. But I also know that the enemy owns the entertainment industry, and that his lies and evil agendas are at the forefront of every mainstream song and film production, especially the award-winning ones, and any that are well-loved and received by the audience. I just point out the lies when I see them, and hopefully give you enough context to ask the questions yourself. The Karate Kid was released in 1984 and became a cinematic anthem to bullied and fatherless children everywhere. It receives 4.5 stars from the Video Movie Guide, which says, "A heartwarming, surefire crowd pleaser, this believable and touching work about the hazards of high school days and adolescence will have you cheering during its climax and leave you with a smile on your face. You'll find yourself rooting for the put-upon hero, Daniel, Ralph Macchio, and booing the bad guys." Rated PG. It was definitely a crowd pleaser because its box office and critical success spawned 2 sequels, 2 remakes, and an updated TV show from the other side. It's admittedly been many years since I last watched The Karate Kid, and I have no preconceived notions about what we're about to see. Then again, I never really do. Maybe this will be the first one the hero and villains are true. So let's see what they show us in The Karate Kid. The movie begins with some industrial shots of Newark, New Jersey. A small group gather around a car that is leaving this community, taking Daniel LaRusso and his mother all the way to California.
Open your eyes, my darling son. This is the Garden of Eden.
Daniel is not so thrilled to be so far away from the only home he's ever known, but his mother tries very hard to convince him to love the change. Daniel quickly meets another boy in the building and tells him his mother got a job at Rocket Computers for the flight of the future. It sounds quite technical and important, and it makes me wonder why they didn't help their new employee and her son move across the country. Hi, baby. This is Rosie. Daniel goes looking for the maintenance man for the building, and this is Mr. Miyagi.
When what?
When are you going to fix the faucet?
At the beach the next day, Daniel attends a party with a boy from his building. Some kids play soccer in the sand, and the soccer ball is one of those symbols of duality. The black and white, of course, but the shapes on the ball also resemble a honeycomb, which points to the hive mind. Here we meet rich girl Allie Mills, and Daniel is instantly interested.
Hey, who's that blonde in blue?
The beach party is crashed by Johnny Lawrence and his crew from Cobra Kai. Johnny happens to be Allie's ex-boyfriend, and Daniel has no idea of the history here. He comes to Allie's defense but finds himself in a fight with a more experienced martial artist. Both boys wear red jackets and dark pants, though one is blonde and the other brunette. Like 2 sides of the same coin. One perhaps is the rising sun and the other the setting sun. At his new school the next day, they show us a dedication plaque from the Native Sons of the Golden West. Wikipedia tells me this is a fraternal organization, or a brotherhood, dedicated to the promotion and preservation of the state of California. It is a racially charged secret society that seems to be anti-immigration. Not sure what they're getting at here because Daniel and his mother are American. More soccer is being played on the school field when Daniel finds Allie, who is also a cheerleader.
You got a name?
Allie, with an I.
Back at home, Daniel practices karate from a book, wearing jeans, when Mr. Miyagi comes to do some maintenance. Daniel then checks out the Cobra Kai karate school with former Army Captain John Kreese as the sensei.
I can't hear you! Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir!
But Daniel gives up when he sees his bully, Johnny, at the head of the class. And it turns out that Daniel's mom is not working in tech, but is working her way up to restaurant management, but is just working as a server for now. Life in California is not great for Daniel. He doesn't just not fit in, he's become a target, and he either wants to leave the state or learn to defend himself.
Daniel, you don't have to run away.
I'm not running away from anything.
Daniel spends some time with Mr. Miyagi, and the two trim bonsai trees, the unlikely beginning of Daniel's karate training and their friendship. Halloween rolls around, and it surprises me that Mr. Miyagi celebrates it. It's unclear at this point what his beliefs are, but I'm sure they don't include pagan celebrations of darkness. Daniel pranks Johnny at the school dance, and of course all of Cobra Kai are dressed like ghouls. Black and white duality all over. Daniel is dressed as a shower, which could be like bathtub symbolism or cleanness.
It's coming around!
The group catch up with him again, and they gang up on Daniel, but lucky for him, Mr. Miyagi is there and far more skilled than the teens.
No way.
Why, no way.
Because.
Because old man.
Mr. Miyagi explains that the word karate means empty hand, and that feels symbolic too. Daniel asks Mr. Miyagi to train him in karate, and the teacher is reluctant at first, based on Daniel's motives to learn. Mr. Miyagi agrees to go with Daniel to Cobra Kai and confront the sensei there, who is teaching his students wrongly, in his opinion.
We do not train to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak.
Mr. Miyagi finally agrees to train Daniel to face Johnny at a tournament in less than 2 months. He wraps a dual bandana on his head, and then the training begins.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Training is paused while Daniel and Allie go on their first date together, but is quickly resumed with more manual labor the next day.
Right the circle. Left the circle.
And the next day.
Small board, left hand. Big board, right hand.
And the next day.
You karate training.
What?
Indeed, Daniel soon learns all his hard work was worth more than just manual labor. Mr. Miyagi teaches Daniel balance as he battles the incoming waves, and this seems like a baptism of sorts as the water overtakes him a few times.
Well, where'd you learn it from?
Father teach.
You must have had some father, man.
More soccer at the school, which seems very intentional at this point, knowing what we know about the school's founders. We get to learn more about Mr. Miyagi. He can sing, he was married, and was an officer in the army who fought in the Second World War.
Sergeant Miyagi. Yes, sir. Sergeant Miyagi report to kill many Germans, sir.
Then we learn his wife and unborn baby both died during a difficult childbirth, meaning he sacrificed much to the war, yet still earned the coveted Medal of Valor. Daniel's training continues as time ticks closer to the tournament. He practices balance, trying to perfect the difficult crane kick. He practices power, trying to harness a punch within an inch.
Lots of work to be done. Tournament just around the corner.
Then we get something we haven't actually seen too often in movies, the birthday song and accompanying rituals. The gifts given are not just generous and thoughtful, but almost sacrificial.
You're the best friend I ever had.
We get to the tournament and I spy a Christmas tree. Daniel wears all white because he's the good guy, and the villains from Cobra Kai wear black.
Where'd we get this?
Buddha provided.
Actually, Mr. Miyagi lied to the tournament officials and stole a black belt for Daniel. Is the god he serves a lying thief? After a slow start, Daniel finds his footing and advances through the competition.
I thought I'd get this far.
Make two of us.
Wouldn't it be great if I won?
Great you survive.
In the semifinals, Daniel is taken out at the knee and shouldn't risk it to face Johnny in the finals. But he's determined, so he does it injured.
Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight?
The teacher from Cobra Kai instructs his students to fight dirty and show no mercy. Daniel puts up a good fair fight and finally completes the challenging crane kick to win the tournament.
The new champion!
Johnny respectfully acquiesces the trophy to Daniel, and the final image is Mr. Miyagi's proud, smiling face. I mean, it really seems like the synopsis was correct here. Daniel is the unsung hero and the baddies are truly villains. But I'm going to put the students aside and instead give focus to their teachers. Because a student will do what they've been taught and sometimes surpass their teacher, but usually surpassing by challenging what they've been taught. It's fascinating to me that both Mr. Miyagi and John Kreese were former military. John was a retired captain, a rank much higher than Miyagi's sergeant. Yet Mr. Miyagi earned the Medal of Valor. Perhaps these two men can be considered comparable in their service. We know the sacrifice of Mr. Miyagi included his wife and unborn son, but this film doesn't tell us Kreese's sacrifice, though we can assume a captain sacrifices personal relationships and many men on the battlefield. It seems Kreese was already a martial arts champion during his military service, and he used what he learned in the service to teach his karate students. It was brutal and harsh, as if he was preparing these young men for war. Mr. Miyagi was a very reluctant teacher, having been taught by his father, but was not a father himself. For him, that was the natural way karate was taught, and the relationship with Daniel opened that up in him. And as much as Mr. Miyagi was a father figure to Daniel, so too was Kreese to Cobra Kai. There was plenty of duality present throughout, as the soccer ball represents, and even the balance described by Mr. Miyagi, referencing the yin and yang of Eastern mysticism. The duality between the senseis, and even between Daniel and Ali. Duality in location, beginning in the east and traveling to the west. But it wasn't just black and white. It was red and blue, or orange and blue, in the clothing. This is sun and moon symbolism. Daniel is the rising sun, Johnny is the setting sun, and Ali is the moon. And the rising and setting sun also applies to the martial art, as Johnny gives way to a new champion. And all the duality and symbolism point right back to the secret societies, which is usually just symbolism. But this one outright told us the secret society behind this story, the Native Sons of the Golden West. This has been a long-standing society, though not as old as the Freemasons. They hold the same ideals and practices of initiation, most likely. Not to mention the fact that Mr. Miyagi, first name never said, means his initials are MM, which points to 33 when turned on its side. Even his title, Maintenance Man, RMM, another pointer to Freemasonry. Speaking of names, I happened to look up what Miyagi means in Japanese, and Wikipedia tells me it means shrine castle or palace fortress, a fortified place of worship for royalty. When all is said and done, this doesn't feel like a good overcoming evil type of story. And while they may have focused on the story of one student, Daniel, this really felt like a story about the teachers, about where they came from and where they are going. Both informed by military, both influenced by martial arts, both father figures. So that's enough for today. Thank you for enduring to the end. Give the video a thumbs up if you agree and a thumbs down if you disagree. Remember, these are just my opinions, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content like this, but don't follow me. Follow the one who saves you. And until next time, keep looking up.
I think you dance around too much. I think you talk too much. I think you not concentrate enough.